Natasha,
Debbie,
show.
the show.
Welcome to it. Just two patriotic girls.
Learning about the world.
So please, don't take us the wrong way. Hello. Welcome to the Natasha and Debbie Show.
We are so glad you are here. And if you are, please, in fact, hit that like button and let us know that you are here.
Debbie said so you better do it. She'll come after you.
And also consider subscribing because it's absolutely free. And we don't want you to miss out on our show. We want you to be part of our family. Give us a hug.
What?
I don't know. So what are we going to look at today, Natasha?
I was going to let you go on. I thought it was cute. We've checked out a lot of different things in the UK as far as different monuments, cathedrals, different architectural things, all kinds of stuff. One thing we haven't really looked at all, I don't actually know that we have, is Tower Bridge. Mm-hmm. So, our YouTube advisor suggested this episode to us. And what is it called, Debbie?
It is called Hidden Secrets of London's Tower Bridge.
So this sounds very intriguing to us. And just one little excerpt here. It says, discovering the hidden secrets of the famous Tower Bridge in London, we head below the river. I like going below.
Cheeky.
It's better than going above.
You do like one another.
I really do. Showing you underneath things to see what's under there. Mm-hmm. Showing you parts of that word I can't say, bridge, never seen before, along with how the bridge operates today. What's that word?
I don't have my glasses, so I can't even see.
Damn.
No
I can
idea.
Pretend that I'm blind and I just can't see it myself. But I think this will be really interesting. We were told by our YouTube advisor, it's Ian from Stoke-on-Trent, Ian, who made us a video. Yeah, he's our YouTube advisor. He said it was funny. We were getting ready to film a video a while back, and he's like, I just watched this one. Now, this comes from Adventure Me. We checked out one of his other videos before and reacted to it, and it was great. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't subscribed to his channel, please do so. You'll find the link to his channel in our description below. See, all the good things happen below.
Cheeky.
They do.
They do. So without any further ado, we're going to go below.
Let's find the hidden secrets.
Together. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to a brand new video, and today we're here at Tower Bridge in London.
That's freaky.
And we're going to go behind the scenes on the bridge. Welcome to the famous Tower Bridge in London, often confused with London Bridge, which is the next bridge down the river.
I was just going to say, prior to Ted Lasso, watching Ted Lasso, I always thought Tower Bridge was London Bridge. What are you looking at?
I was checking your microphone to make sure it was tucked.
Certain clothing choices aren't always the best. But yeah, I think that's the commonality for most Americans. I don't know about people from other countries thinking that Tower Bridge is in fact London Bridge. But it's not. You guys knew that. We did not until recently.
And not as iconic looking as this one. Before we begin our behind-the-scenes tour, let me take you back in time with a brief history.
Ooh,
Plans for a new river crossing began way back in 1876, with the City of London Corporation requiring a new crossing without disrupting river traffic. A public competition was launched to find a worthy design, with over 50 entries submitted.
Oh, wow.
The River Thames at this point would have been very busy with river traffic, carrying cargo to and from the Pool of London docks just beyond the bridge. Whichever design was chosen, river traffic would have full priority over any other method. It took until 1884 for them to find a suitable design, drawn up by the city architect Sir Horace Jones in collaboration with Sir John Wolfe Barry.
It's beautiful.
It took 8 years and 432 construction workers to build the bridge, starting with 2 piers built on the riverbed to form the construction of the towers.
I have never seen this of an up-close look at this before. It's so ornate, and I didn't...
Detailed and beautiful.
I had no idea. I've never seen an up-close view of this.
I mean, why we would think it wasn't.
Yeah, true. Well, I know from a distance when you see it, I don't know. but I've never seen it like this before.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm glad we're getting a close look at this.
Yeah,
and
and
I'm loving the history.
Yeah. So, beautiful.
The towers were built from steel and clad in Cornish granite and Portland stone for protection against the elements. When it was completed in 1894, it was the largest and most sophisticated bascule bridge ever built.
Bascule. That's the word I couldn't
Upon
pronounce.
opening, the nearby Tower subway suffered due to lack of custom. As Tower Bridge was free to cross, this eventually led to its demise in 1898.
Really?
The bridge is 940 feet in length and 213 feet high for each tower. In its first year, it averaged 8,000 vehicles crossing and 17 bascule lifts per day.
What's a bascule?
Now, it has
I don't know what that is. Do you?
I don't.
Hi, Americans here. We are not stupid. Just don't know what that is. Something to do with boats?
I don't know.
I'm assuming that?
Bascule lift.
Yeah,
So
which
I don't
means
know.
it opens up for the boats to go under is what I'm taking out of context with that. Is that correct? Let me know. I don't know.
has over 40,000 crossings and only lifts on average 2.7 times per day. Tower Bridge even had some
2.7?
high-level walkways constructed so that pedestrians
that's
could
cool.
still cross if the bridge had been raised for river traffic. But these walkways were eventually closed in 1910 due to lack of use and the unsavoury folk that used to hang around in them, as people were happy to wait and watch the bridge raise instead. The bridge is now a world-famous landmark and attracts many tourists daily.
Yeah, because they
So
think it's
when I was
London
offered the
Bridge.
chance of a behind-the-scenes
They
tour,
do.
I made my way to London as fast as I could.
Sorry, you guys should just go over there and just stand by the bridge, and then every time you see anybody coming from another country, just be like, "This isn't London Bridge," especially when they're filming it.
Wrong bridge.
Wrong bridge. This isn't the one you thought it is. And then they'll be like, "Oh." I guarantee you, 9 out of 10 people would be like, "Oh."
Exactly.
So let's
fun.
get straight on with it and head into the former operator's booth. Well, here we are in one of the control rooms on Tower Bridge, and you can see the bridge
Wow.
right behind me there. Just people flowing over it and traffic. And yeah, this control room is one of two. There was one on the other side as well. But this is where all the
in there.
levers are to control the lifting mechanism for the actual bridge in the middle.
I want to lift it.
Fun.
So obviously both of those sections rise up pretty much up to the top of the walkway there,
Oh, really?
and all controlled, and you can see some of the lights here as well, but all controlled from a lot of these levers, and apparently they can control both sides of the bridge from this one room here.
One would be for the
Oh, wow.
small engine and one would be for the big engine.
Okay.
Then we would have a brake, then we would have those nose bolts in the middle of the bridge. And
I
then
have no idea what half of this does. There's a lot of things for barriers and signals and signals for ships, signals for pedestrians, signals for cars,
It's a
traffic.
lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, a bit of everything in here. But yeah, fantastic view across the bridge right here. And everybody's staring at me
That it is.
in this box, trying to work out what I'm doing and if I'm going to lift the bridge. Oh, we've got an
should
iconic
lift it right now when people are
red
watching.
bus just crossing the bridge there,
Just pull a lever.
which reminds me of a famous story from years ago about the bridge rising whilst the bus was crossing. And apparently the bus jumped across the gap in the bridge as it was rising.
Mind the
So
gap!
I can touch one of the levers to open the bridge. Obviously it's not going to work because everything is disconnected these days, but it's nice to just pull it and try it, you know, like a railway signal. And the other one here.
What if it actually started moving?
Imagine if the
Well, it's
bridge
disconnected.
started opening
But yeah,
behind
no,
me, but it won't because it's disconnected. All these dials would have been to show the oil levels and for them to check on to make sure that
I love the
everything
preservation, guys.
is as it should
Always
be
do.
down below. And yeah, I was just saying, this is like a tram controller. It does look like one and it operates like one. So we're now in the engine room for the bridge. This is what powers the bascules to lift up and down, obviously. And we've got two different eras in here because just behind me here is the original steam engines which would have powered the bridge up until 1976. And then
really
on this
cool.
side we've got the brand new system which powers it today. So this is the old steam engines here. You
different
can
looking,
tell
aren't they?
the old
They sure
Victorian
are.
look of the motors. So these
beautiful,
were
though.
steam powered and it used water pressure to power
Right.
the actual spindle here, which has been severed right there So it would have turned this spindle and that gear just behind it, which would have been on the end, which then fed through here to control the bascules, which we'll see a bit later. Whereas today, it's 2 electric motors now that do the work, and it's powered by oil pressure from these brand new motors here. Like I said, since 1976. And you can see the actual drive shaft there as it heads on through the wall.
Look at the shaft, Abby.
Yeah, so the old and the new. Look at the size of this cog here. So this is one of the original
Enormous.
cogs that would have
Abby,
turned the
staying away from
spindle
that.
to
When it was
power
moving.
the lifting of the bascules. Look at these massive
Bascules.
steel
Things that move up. See,
gears
that's
here.
kind of right.
It just looks like a massive steam engine, doesn't it? It really does. You can
I mean, I
imagine
wouldn't
the
know, but-
noise and the smells as it was going round. And you can see some of the old cables at the top there as well. If we just look in this corner, you can actually still see
Fascinating,
the
it's still there.
drive shaft there as it heads through the wall. And when we head downstairs, we'll see the actual bascules with the weights on underneath, where it would have pushed them underneath the road to lift the drawbridge or the actual
Nice.
bascules. So a drawbridge, in case you didn't know, is lifted from above, whereas this one is pulled down below. So it's not a drawbridge, even though people call it a drawbridge. It's actually a bascule. I've just noticed
So
this
there we
little
go.
contraption here, which is in the engine room, and that's for the engineers. If they were in here, it would indicate whether the bridge was up or down and lifted around. They could see if they needed to get out the way. So this is the original boilers, the steam boilers, as you can just see above. If I just lift you up there. So now these look like the Titanic boilers, don't they?
They
With
really
the
do,
three
actually, yeah. I was just thinking that.
Big doors on them.
Nicole.
You can make
Look in
German
there,
bread in
you've
that.
got your coal that
Refer
would
back
have
to
been
the last
shoved
question.
in
Might be a little bit
there
hot.
to power the steam boilers. So yeah, it's amazing to think all that technology and all that effort and engineering that
Serious
goes into
hardcore
all
manual
this just to power the bridge, which is no longer used today, like I say. And check this out for Victorian
Wow.
engineering. I love the colours on the old Victorian
I
Yes.
was just going to
steam
say
engines
that.
and things. So these, again, 2 engines there, just below the road deck, which is directly above us.
I've seen this
For
color
all you steam engine geeks.
on a few different like trains and things in the UK. Never seen these colors, anything here, on anything here in the US.
No. I mean, you're
Um,
going to have a big old engine and gears like that. You might as well have it pretty.
Yeah. But
Yes, it might as well look pretty.
agreed.
Out there, you'll love this. Everything's still running or working today, but
It's so
no
neat.
longer used, obviously, for the bridge. Like I said, it's all modern now. Electric motors using oil. And just through the other side, they've got another one as well. So this is the second one. Now, only one runs at a time today for demonstration purposes, shall we say. Yeah, here's the second one. So you just look at the size of these engines, just all to lift
Huge.
one side of the bridge, which is very, very over-engineered, as everything
anyone
was
go down
back
here
in
and
the
look at this?
Victorian times. Oh, wow, just check
Seems
this
like a
out.
tour.
So we've just headed into the bascule room, where the giant weights, so that's underneath the actual bascule bridge. Oh, the traffic, you can hear it bashing over above us. These weights here swing down towards me and down
get
this
out.
way to lift the bridge upright. You can see how well illuminated it is in here now. Yeah, this
Wow.
is just below river level, somewhere about where the bottom of that rail is in the wall there. So just below
Okay.
river level, depending on obviously if the tide's in or out.
This is
So
so
you've
cool.
got these brick steps here, which are just mainly for decoration purposes, nothing else.
Okay.
Yeah, and the giant bridge above me. It's so hard to show you how big this room is.
Kind of
but
hard to get a grasp of
That is
What's
one
up,
of the
what's down.
arms from
That's a
the road
concept
bridge.
of
Like I said, you can hear
the space.
all the traffic bashing around above us, and you can see the mark in the wall there of the pattern that the bridge takes when it comes down.
Okay.
So if you can imagine, this section drops down, and the bridge on the front section, which will be this way, lifts up. And this is the clearance room in here for the bridge weights to drop down and pull it down. But it all is powered from the engine rooms that we showed you, which were right up there at the top. And the motors that powered the mechanism to swing the bridge down. That's just amazing.
Wait, is the engine room's above this room?
I'm trying to portray just how tall this room is.
I think that's what he said.
I'll probably say 50 feet above my head.
I can tell it's pretty high.
And you can hear all the water trickling down the walls. And again, traffic above us. But it is something else.
I think I'd get a little scared being in there.
That is
But I
so
would
weird.
totally go in there.
Yeah.
That is just neat.
Can you hear the traffic now? We just made our way upstairs and we're now literally underneath the road deck here, as you can see. A lot of the rivets in the steel there. And if I pan you down, look at this. So this is the
cool.
chamber yet again from above this time.
I like this view.
You can see where the bridge deck right above us here would swing down there and then lift
Can you pause
on
that for
the
a
other
second?
side.
I mean, this is
It is
absolutely fascinating. It's, I don't know. It's so much history, you know, here in this video and inside of this bridge or under the bridge, however you want to look at it, right? And to see all the old steam stuff. Steam stuff. There's a new thing. I just said that. All the ways that it was, you know, working previously. And it is now. It's just, again, the preservation, I've said it several times in this episode, is one of the reasons we love the UK so much, that you don't just demolish something and build something new, because it is beautiful. You do see, they focus on it whenever they do a show or movie in London. It's like, so you know, okay, it's really something I would love to do.
Just look at these fantastic colours here. So this colour isn't the original. It was actually like a brown colour when it first opened. And then they painted it for the Queen's Jubilee, I think in the 70s. And
Really?
It was blue, white and red. And they've kept it
Red, white and blue
today. But there are some parts that we can apparently see later on that show the original brown colour of the bridge. So in case you were wondering, this is a bascule bridge. Now bascule comes from the French word which means seesaw. So you can guess what it does. It's like a seesaw. And
I was right.
Gotcha.
That's why I said earlier on it's not a drawbridge, because the drawbridge is actually from above, so it's lifted up rather than pulled down.
Chains are cool.
I didn't know the
Here we are
difference
on the
between
road deck.
drawbridge and
This is the bascule arm here, right in front of you. So this is the section that would have lifted up, and we were underneath, just down there, in that huge chamber. And
just
this
drive
is
over
the
that and
section
never even
that
think
would
about
have
it,
lifted up in the air, one of two, obviously, all the way up to about this level here. And you can still see the little gap in the middle of the roadway over there where it splits. Nothing too exciting, but just in case you've not been on the bridge before. Okay, so we're now going to head up the bridge onto the old pedestrian walkways up here, which now have a glass floor in the middle. So I'm looking forward to seeing everything from above. We've just headed up the lift.
That's the old color?
At the top of the pedestrian walkways. And here is a good example to show you the original colour of the bridge. So that, instead of the blue, was the original colour on opening of Tower Bridge.
Definitely.
It's like a browny, chocolatey colour. And then today, it's more of this royal blue here. And here we are on the pedestrian walkways, one of two. So we've got the east and the west. You can see the other one just over there. And it's identical to this one, obviously, but you get the different view looking across the city of London.
I love seeing
this way towards
flag right there.
Canary Wharf and everywhere else. We do have a glass floor coming up down there, which we'll take a look at soon.
You don't want to do it.
These were the original pedestrian walkways. So when the bridge
look at that
was
wood
lifted,
flooring. It's
people
amazing.
could head up the stairs or the lift and head across here to get across the bridge without having to wait for the actual bridge to lift and lower.
It's like a little museum.
And also, worth mentioning as well, the original Tower Tunnel is under the river, just a few hundred yards further up. That was made redundant when the Tower Bridge opened. So when they opened this bridge, that was no longer used because that was the original pedestrian route, which charged you to cross. This was absolutely free. Get a good view here of the glass floor.
Oh, no.
As you approach it, that's quite scary.
Yeah.
That is the Eiffel Tower one. You can just see down onto the road deck down there.
Yep,
Shall we take a walk over?
No, it's just not natural. It's not natural.
It's going out some, so it's
not
This would be a
natural.
good point to show you the actual split in the road deck down there for the bascule.
Mind the gap.
You can see the line there.
Yep.
So that's where
Yep.
the two arms would lift up either side.
We're like,
of the-
yep, there's the line.
Now we
We're
went
like, we can see that
into
from the road.
the south side there, so we were underneath the road deck,
That
just
part.
under there somewhere, in these giant chambers, which now form part of the
Had a little hard time breathing
breakwater
here.
down on the river. There, look, you can see the curve. So we were inside those massive chambers in there.
My word.
It'd be
Which is
fascinating to see
awesome.
the bridge opening from up here, but it doesn't open very often these days.
Really?
Yeah, it feels so
Why?
weird standing on there, even though you know it's perfectly fine.
Do really know that,
They
actually.
can hold the weight of 10 elephants on this glass.
Let's prove that.
So-
Go get 10.
Easily done.
Welcome up
Yeah, it's
there.
still strange walking on the glass. It helps if you don't look down. You just concentrate on what you're doing.
You just walk on the edge.
You can. You can see me
Just check out
sliding
the
across the
marvellous view
side.
you
Like,
get on this side, so you can see straight into the heart of Canary Wharf that way. And obviously
I've heard
the
these
River
words,
Thames.
Canary Wharf, but I don't know what that is.
We've now reached the south side of the bridge, and again, you can see the original colour scheme in here for the bridge.
Yep, there's that brown.
Like the chocolatey brown colour. And just look up there into the ceiling. I never noticed that, but that is
wow.
one of the towers, or the roof of the tower on the south side.
How
You
cool.
can see the steel framework in there,
a
and
lot.
also the wood roof. So can you just see on the girder there?
I
love that.
we've got
I like
two
that.
workmen statues, which are representing the riveting gang who used to put the rivets in the bridge. All the hundreds and thousands of them, because they are absolutely everywhere. And it wasn't an easy job to
Definitely a
put
lot
rivets
of 'em.
into steel. Okay, we've made it onto the other pedestrian bridge now, so you get a different view, obviously, into the city of London, and you can see the Shard on the left there, the BT Tower in the middle, and the walkie-talkie, and looking down into London. So this one is slightly different. It's the same thing, obviously, but the glass floor here also has a mirror above it as well. So it's a bit more disorientating. There you
Why?
go, here's the glass floor again.
Why? No.
This time we have a mirror.
You don't need all that. Come on
There
now.
we go. If I look up at you, you can see me now.
Oh,
In the
that's
mirror.
not okay.
And you can see me stood on the glass floor. That is really disorientating to
Yeah.
stand there and look up at that.
It makes some cool selfies, right?
Yeah.
In case
but-
you're wondering why there's a bale of hay there,
I am wondering.
or a bundle of hay as they call it. It says there, by law, a bundle of hay has to be suspended from the bridge when work is happening to alert ships that there is less room to pass under the bridge than normal.
And what
There you
century was
go.
that?
Close up.
Okay.
Some of the rivets covered in paint now, but there is just thousands and thousands and thousands of them all
I'm
over
sure
the
there's
bridge.
hundreds of
which
thousands.
Obviously, back then was the preferred method to fix things together, whereas today they use other methods like welding. It's just worth mentioning while we're up here as well, you can actually feel the bridge, or this walkway, just bounce slightly when the bridge moves.
No, I
a bit
wouldn't
like
like
Blackpool
that.
Tower.
Go stand over that glass part with the mirror above you while you feel it moving.
Oh, no. Would not like that.
Debbie and I would both be crying. It's not
Yeah.
just me this time, guys. It's her
No,
too.
I don't like the heights. Nope.
No.
Nope. And no.
You're much worse at heights than I am.
I am not standing on that glass thing. Nope. There is wood right next to it. I will stand on that. Thank you.
So what I'm hearing is you prefer the wood. Okay.
Cheeky.
If you remember when I was at Blackpool Tower, you could actually feel it swaying ever so slightly. And I have done on the Humber Bridge before as well. So yeah, it does move, and it's designed to move, obviously.
Well, it has
We're
to.
taking the harder option.
What are these
Now
guys?
heading down these stairs, which is definitely the easy way.
Look at those
You've got the lift
handrails.
up
I was
in
just
one
thinking
side,
that.
and
I was
we're
just thinking
heading down
that.
the stairs
I mean, they're
on this
so
side.
ornate.
Yeah, I just wanted to show you a bit more of the architecture inside the tower here. So again, you've got the original brown colour scheme
Of course.
on all the stairwells. And you can see part of the building there, look. So that's one of the windows on the tower.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That is, I would
Looking
love
over
this tour.
towards the bridge there, and then the view.
That is amazing.
There we go, straight down. So like you can see on here, it is steelwork inside the towers, and then it's stonework, the Portland stone on the outside, and bricks as well.
Oh,
So yeah, it's not
Wow.
all stone and brick inside. There is actually a lot of steel supports
A lot of woodwork
I've
too.
been told as well, you can get married on one side of the bridge in one
Can
of the
you?
towers. They do weddings, but because
Do they
each
now?
side of the bridge
Do
is
they?
2 different boroughs or 2 different councils, only one
Really?
side, and I'm not sure which, is actually registered to do marriages.
How
on
cool
the
is
bridge,
this? Did you know
which is
that?
another
didn't
interesting
know
fact
that.
for you. We just reached a mezzanine level here in the tower. The nice piece of steel architecture there, look.
I want that
So you don't
lamppost.
realise that they've got this steelwork in here behind the windows, so all you see is the stone, and you think it's completely stone and brick inside, but it isn't.
I sure would
It's
have.
riveted steel, just like that. And I do
Wow.
love as well the old lamps. Got the actual
We do too.
original lamps in here as well. Like I said, these were originally the pedestrian walkways across the bridge, so you could just enter them from the street and head across the bridge and then back down. But today,
It reminds me of the
part
grand
tour-
staircase in the Titanic. That was amazing.
That was. I love the behind the scenes tours.
Yeah, and he did say at the end of that that is not like your general public tour. That was a behind the scenes for him, but you can do a general tour. Just won't show you quite as much as what we just saw here, but
That is super neat.
everything about that was fantastic.
Mhm.
Getting the history. First of all, like I said at the beginning of the video, just even seeing it up close. Never had.
Right?
Never had seen him up close. Like I said, we hadn't really looked at Tower Bridge at all.
Mm-mm.
And now we've not just seen it, we've seen under it, above it,
Yep.
inside of it.
Through it, round it.
Yeah, that's technically true.
And it was fascinating to see all the steel inside, because you do, from looking at it there, think it's just stone. And
And the woodwork too.
yeah,
I mean, there was
So much
like he
inside
mentioned
there.
the floor, even in the pedestrian walkway, was like this beautiful
know, the
wood floor.
flooring was gorgeous. The handrails. I
But
mean,
it was-
come on.
Not surprising, United Kingdom.
No, not at all.
What did you learn? Did you learn something here? I bet you did. You had to have learned something from this episode, and we hope you did with us.
Mhm.
Hey guys, and if you liked this episode, please hit that like button, consider subscribing to the channel. And again, please go to Adventure Me's channel and subscribe to his channel. He gives out some really great information,
He
some
does.
really cool videos.
Yeah,
I want to go
definitely
there.
on the list.
I want to go there and stand there and do what I said earlier.
Yeah,
and just
I
be an
mean-
American, be like, hey, watch.
Wrong bridge.
Wrong bridge. It's not London Bridge. You know this isn't London Bridge, right? You think it is, don't you? I bet you think this is London Bridge. Yeah. Let me ruin your vacation right now.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely on the list. I definitely want to go see it in person.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope that you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you on the next one. Until then, and as always, you know what I'm going to say, so say with me. Love like Jess.
Be as strong as Tyson.
Bye, guys.
Bye.